going to talk to you about my own experience as well as share some hopes for the future as well. It's very important what the young people have said previously, that it's a multi-racial, multi-ethnic group, which is a good sign because, as you know, forced marriage doesn't happen just to one community. It can happen to any community across ethnic lines. It can happen to any faith group, not just the Muslim community. And I must really, at the outset, make it clear that forced marriage has nothing to do with any. Some of you who have studied Islam properly will know that 1400 years ago, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ actually banned forced marriage in the most categorical term. So if any religion which categorically banned a bad practice like this, it was Islam 1400 years ago. So it does really pain me when I see that it's still happening and some of the people who perpetrate this may sometimes link it up with religion. Because there is absolutely no ground to link forced marriage with religion. And it doesn't happen to one person. To those families within some communities where there is a kind of tradition of patriarchal power structure and the uneven, unequal relationship within the families and very strict traditional values which they probably have brought from some rural backgrounds in the past. Although those countries have moved on, but some of these families are still trapped within those traditions and patriarchy. And the other thing, what I found out in my own research is that the poor communication that is there between parents and children. So it is normal to actually find out boys and girls suitable to their children or as their marriage partners according to their own wish, rather than asking these young men and women, do you agree with that? So that kind of communication gap sometimes leads to tragedy. That is my finding as well. And as I said, it can happen to any community. The forced marriage unit of the government, which was set up many years ago, particularly in with strong basis in 2005, they carried out lots of researches, they provide training to people, and according to their own statistics, when I was carrying out my research, that 300 hardcore cases they dealt with nationally, and they had 5,000 or over 5,000 inquiries coming to them about forced marriages. So nationally, they thought it was alarming, it was a big problem. But when I carried out my research, I found out that in local areas, particularly community-based organizations, get far more inquiries coming to them because they are more culturally sensitive, they have bilingualism with them because quite a lot of things may have language barriers and cultural barriers. They naturally don't go to statutory agencies like the police, social services, education, etc. They come to those voluntary organizations for help. So, if community-based organizations get more approaches, like in my experience, 300 approaches were made in 1 year in a place like Luton, that doesn't necessarily mean there were hardcore 300 cases. That may mean that the same people who come to one organization may go to another organization. There will be double counting. But in Luton at that time, I found that the statutory agencies were getting far fewer cases. And when I asked why was that happening, and what I found out was this, that those statutory agencies did not have bilingual people counseling, advising, supporting this cruel experience in life inflicted on them by the near and dear ones. I simply couldn't believe that people could be kidnapped, tortured, starved of food, starved of water. They were starving, actually. They were imprisoned in rooms without any communication with the rest of the world, and physically assaulted. Some of them emotionally blackmailed. Some of them are threatened that I will divorce your mother if you don't agree. So you can see what kind of emotional pressure there could be. And all those things were happening because quite a lot of parents probably didn't realize that by doing this, they're creating a situation where for life, some of these young people will have unhappy marriages. They may agree at the end of it that yes, I will marry. but not with full consent or free consent. So it is against the law of this country totally. But the point is how many parents actually in 2008, it's called the Forced Marriage Civil Protection Act 2007. For the first time in this country, a specific piece of legislation is there against forced marriage. But in the past as well, there were plenty of pieces of legislation, family law, and all these things into account. That if parents don't understand the law of this country, how would they know they're breaking the law? So our responsibility, your responsibility, the media responsibility have to be to raise the awareness of parents so that they understand they're breaking the law of this country. Because what they have been dealing with in rural areas in Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Somalia, or African countries, or wherever, they could get away doing it because nobody ever raised this issue of law to them. But here, in a country like this, in the 21st century, when this human rights abuse, this is actually a child cruelty or child protection issue because quite a lot of young people are under 18 who are victimized like this. So that strong child protection legislation will kick in as well. So how many parents have that kind of knowledge? How many will know that Civil Protection Act 2007 is there? I can wave this thing at them. This was, this is a heavy thing, which was the domestic violence, forced marriage, and honor-based violence. A report produced by the Select Committee on the basis of many witnesses giving evidence. But how many parents will have the education and time to read this and understand, oh my God, I have reached the law. So whose responsibility is it? Law is important. It gives a protective framework to all of us to work within. But raising awareness is the first and foremost thing we have to do so that parents think twice, 3 times, 100 times before taking that kind of action on their young people. And young people's responsibility is there as well. It's not always rights. Rights always come with responsibilities. Young people should learn from schools. Schools should give young people responsibilities and understanding that they have human rights and how they should communicate. It's against family law. It's against child protection law. You go on adding all kinds of things. It's against anything that we can accept. And therefore, the community-based organizing will support you because you have taken a stand. Absolutely, we support you always. But SYR can be a motivating factor to other community-based organizations. It's a community-building exercise. It is not an exclusively Bangladeshi issue. It is a Pakistani issue because 65% of the victims are coming out of Pakistani community according to the forced marriage unit's own record. 25% of the victims are from the Bangladeshi background and 10% come from all other like Sikh community in India and Hindu communities in India and also Somali community and other African communities as well. So it can happen very well. Bangladeshi community is a strong community. I belong to that community. I'm very proud of this community. If you look at our successes, even in this country, it is an international movement because we do your. And I wish you every luck, and I wish you every success, and I hope that our parents will be made aware of this through all kinds of agencies and ourselves as well. And everyone here, you must remember, you have a network behind you. You have a